Okay, hi everybody. It's Donna. I'm at Vince's Gourmet, and today I'm making my personal favorite, ricotta pie. It's an Easter tradition in my family. I think a lot of families make this pie, different versions, different additives. So I'm gonna make my mother's recipe. So I started out, it's a sweet crust that you don't bake. I started out with 2 eggs and 2 tablespoons of sugar. And you're whisking this, you can use an electric beater. You want to go to pale yellow. I'm colorblind, so that looks pale yellow to me. And then in the next bowl, you're going to add 1 3/4 cups of flour. And you're gonna mix 2 tablespoons of baking powder in there. So you're gonna mix that into your flour. I'm using 00 flour. You can use all-purpose as well. Then I took 1/3 cup of Crisco, and yes, Crisco. And I broke it up in little pieces, and I'm just mixing that into the flour and baking powder mixture. Once you get all that Crisco worked in there, when your hands come in, I'm going to add that into the egg and sugar, and I'm going to hopefully form a dough. I'll start off with a spoon. Again, you can do this in your KitchenAid or start in your food processor, whatever. I like to do it by hand. So you want to have water, cold water on the side, because you may have to add that in too. So again, you're making a dough. Guess what? I'm turning it over here. And so you're going to work that all together and add the water. Again, 2 to 4 tablespoons if you need it. So you're going to work this. I'm not going to work it all the way through. You're going to work this about a good 2 to 3 minutes, right? Then you're going to form it into a ball and put it in the refrigerator for a half an hour, okay? And then next, take the ball out of the refrigerator. I have an 8-inch pie crust. You want to use a 10 or 12 inch. My pan is too small, so make sure you have, because you'll have extra filling if you don't. All right, so I floured whatever, your cutting board, your table, your counter, and this will make 1 crust. So I'm rolling out the crust, okay? And then you're going to take the crust. You want it thin. You want it real thin. Here's a finished crust, but I'm just going to show you on this. My sisters are home laughing at me right now. So then you're going to put it into your pie shell, glass or aluminum or whatever, and you're going to, press it in. Those of you make crusts know what I'm talking about. And cut it off. Use a knife, don't use your hands. And then you're gonna pinch it through. But you wanna make sure it's completely rolled out. All right, next. Okay, so the crust is done. Ready. And now I'm gonna make the filling. So in this, here's all the ingredients. some of which have spilled through. Okay. So in this bowl, I have the ricotta cheese. This is impasata, or we also have del pistaio, which is a little sweeter. Vince's has great ricotta cheese. It's real dry and easy to work with. So in the bowl, this is 3 cups, so 1.5 pounds. So in the bowl, I'm just mixing all the ingredients together. I'm going to add 4 eggs. A tablespoon of vanilla, 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt, 1/4 cup of flour, cup of sugar, white sugar. You're gonna mix that. Again, you can do this with an electric beater, in your KitchenAid, by hand, which is what I'm doing. And I'm going to put some orange zest in here next. Recipe calls for 2 tablespoons. Just wash the orange. If you don't have a zester, you can, cut it with a paring knife and just slice it real thin. I like orange. I'm putting a lot in. I might even squeeze a little juice in. Okay, so then you're gonna mix that in well. So there's a lot of different recipes, as I said earlier, for this ricotta pie. Some have cinnamon, some have a cooked wheat, sweetened condensed milk. This is just the one that we always had growing up. All right, and then next, when that's well blended, which it is, in my opinion, chocolate chips. I put in a lot of chocolate chips. Recipe calls for 12 ounces. You don't want to overdo it like I do, because it won't look as pretty. All right, so anyhow, chocolate chips. And I use semi-sweet. You can put in dark, you can switch it up. If you like dark chocolate, don't do anything crazy like peanut butter chips. All right, well blended. Goes right into the pie crust. And as I said, I have a smaller crust than the recipe calls for, so I'm not gonna put it, I'm not gonna put it all in. And then you just pour it in, make it look sort of pretty on top, and in the oven for about 50 minutes to an hour on 350. Check it out. You rotate it when it's firm. Here's one I baked earlier. When it's firm to the touch on top, don't judge me, my crust fell. Then it's done. I always take it out when it's a little bit loose because it's still gonna set up. And there it is. It's chocolate chip ricotta pie, and it's delicious. And this is another recipe that you can bake. You can make maybe smaller ones and deliver them around to your neighbors or your family. Have fun with it. Everybody have a great afternoon.